does having protein make you instantly wham?
No.
I really don't understand how much money people will spend on alcohol, for example. In the long run, that's harming you.
This is more than luxury for me. This is something that I need in my life. Why do people need fitness in their life?
You got like the guys that are in the long shorts, and then you got guys that are like twerking on stage, I would say, or they're clenching their cheeks.
You get what makes a bad coach and a good coach?
All right.
All right, cool. We're back for a second episode. And we've got a special guest today. Very special, isn't it?
Very special. Call him Big West.
Big
Big
West.
West, the big man himself.
Mr. West is fine, man.
So,
Wow.
yeah.
Mr. West is fine.
We're going to kick off proceedings. Like I always say, watch the whole episode. Shout out Joe Rogan, we're coming for you, innit? Again, fact. So, boom, yeah, we're just going to have some vibes, some fun. We're going to ask Weston some deep cutting questions. You ready, Weston?
I think so.
You good? You ready for this?
I'm ready.
You ready? Cool,
Let's
yeah.
go.
Ez is going to take part as well. We'll ask her some of the questions as well. Round 2, innit? Because last time, some of the answers, I know, like they were a bit, you weren't giving the correct answer. So we'll go again today. All right, cool. So we're going to start off with a quick fire round.
Okay.
So Weston, Ez, how we doing this? You taking part as well? Questions for both of you?
Yeah, Western answers first and I'll answer second.
All right, cool. So, boom, I drop you a question. You got like time limit, like 10 seconds, 15 seconds, not too long. And you got to pick an answer, all right?
I'm going to fuck this up. Bad pressure.
All right,
Yeah,
cool. All right, cool. Let's start off light. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would that be?
I don't know, bro. The Caribbean somewhere. Anywhere hot, anywhere sunny,
Cool.
anywhere where utilities are free.
Say that in S. What are you saying? Somewhere in the
Hackney.
world. Bro, you can't keep saying this guy said
Hackney.
Hackney. He said Hackney, then he was like, do you know
the
he said,
whole world,
Yeah,
you pick Hackney,
exactly.
brother.
It's safe, man. Stick to what you know. I ain't going.
Oh my,
Yeah.
comfort
Have you seen
zone.
these spiders? Like,
Bro, dreams die in your comfort zone, bro.
That's it. Weston coming already. That's what I like to see. All right, Weston, money or love?
Oh, brother.
thank you.
In life or right now? Because right now it's money all day, baby. You mad? I'm trying to get paid. However,
Thank you.
You
What I
are
said
the
in
last
life,
week.
I guess love, yeah. But
Alright.
right now, money.
I thought you was on my side.
Ez,
I'm
what
on
you
your
go?
side, brother,
Ez, what
but-
you go? See what you go for again.
This week I'll say love.
This week of love. He's mixing it up. Like the
last
Weather,
week,
like the British
last
weather.
week's money, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
money still, but
Alright.
I got heated for that.
I'm trying to get that bread, bro. It's fine, bro. We've got bills to pay.
All right, cool. Weston, if you had one superpower, what would it be and why?
One superpower, brother. Can I pick two?
Go on then.
See if I can fly
Yeah,
or I can teleport. One or the other.
calm.
Fly
Get
or
places
teleport.
quick, I'm guessing.
Yeah, bro.
Cool.
I'll take that.
Ez, what's your superpower, bro?
I'd, make myself a bit taller still.
What? You think you're too
Can I
short?
change my answer? I want that answer too, bro.
Exit.
It's a couple inches.
Couple.
Bruv, you mad.
Yeah, that's a couple. Couple and I'm 6.
For
So you
who?
mad?
For why? Why? What you gonna do with the height?
4 inch, I'll be like
What you gonna do with it?
6'1".
Yeah, what you gonna do with it?
Yeah, 6'1". I'll be a model. I'll be a footballer.
I like
basketball player,
What?
I'll be gone.
Brother,
We wouldn't even be doing this.
game
Lad.
changer.
I'll be
Bro,
gone.
man said I'm playing basketball, model. You gotta pick one, bro.
No,
You're gonna
I'll do
that.
everything.
You do everything.
I'll
Alright,
play
calm.
pro ball. Everything.
Calm. So that's the only thing that's lacking, the height from you playing pro ball.
Got shagged, bro. 4 inches makes
Weston, what
a
you saying? Is that height thing then?
You know, if I was a shapeshifter, it don't even matter, bro. If I can just grow
That's it.
anytime.
I like that. If you could be stranded in a desert island with one person, who would it be?
Like, honestly, no one, bro. That's the
Man
truth.
trying to go to
I'll be there
desert
by myself.
Yeah. Ez, what you said, round 2.
This one again.
Introvert life, man.
I'd say. Who did I say last week? I didn't even say it. My niece last week.
Yeah. He's in
This
the
week
scene.
I'll go for. Say Aaron.
Aaron, what are you saying? If you could start one person in desert island, who'd you pick?
You see how Aaron's looking?
Yeah, he's not impressed.
President.
I knew you were going to say president.
That's his cat.
Oh,
cat.
so you can't
Damn
all
cat.
things, you know.
Yeah, I'm the best.
And I said,
Oh, it's
I
a
said
hot
Aaron.
desert island, Aaron, bro. It's hot.
Look after it, man.
It's not a summer cat, bro.
Yeah.
It's
I
not a
see,
summer
bro.
cat.
He's
Come back. You come, I come with you. And you come to me.
okay. Cool. Weston, night in or night out?
Night in, man. Oh, that's pain.
Night in, yeah.
Night in, bro.
Bro.
Chill, Netflix.
Yeah. Relax.
Netflix.
Cut that out.
Stay in. That's staying.
Stay in. That's it. Netflix, yeah?
Yeah,
Netflix and chill.
Easy.
Vibes.
Easily.
Netflix and chill.
Netflix and chill. So you matter about money and staying in.
Mm-hmm.
That's a hustler's mentality. I like that.
It's the best way, bro.
Who's your role model growing up? It's a bit of a deep one there.
Yeah, I don't know,
Dive
bro.
into it.
Come back to me. I've got to think about
Alright,
that
cool.
one.
Ez.
That's a difficult one, you know?
Was that either Goku or
Oh, bruv, yeah. 100. Goku, bro.
or Yu-Gi-Oh?
Alright,
Interesting.
That's an interesting one. You flipped
let's
it
say
up there.
Goku. It sounds more serious. So see,
You
Goku.
flipped it up. You flipped it up there, bro. You flipped it up. Worst subject in school? Let me hear some answers.
Geography.
Geography.
History.
History.
I was good at the more still. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, so he's getting good grades now. All right, Weston. Last one. We'll go for last one. What interests have you got outside of fitness? What's your other interests? What do you like doing?
I really like graphic design. I've gotten into drawing recently. Like I used to draw a lot when I was a kid, so it's been kind of fun doing that. That's about it, really.
Cool. Sounds dope, bro. Sounds dope. Ez? Just a
My one
fitness
as
thing.
well. No, I draw as
Guys are artistic.
as you know. Started playing badminton recently on the weekends. Just trying to get back into doing more sports.
Any good?
Yeah, I'm the best, man.
Gonna have to put that to the test, bro. All right, and then we'll do one more. Last one. If you could pick 5 people in history to sit with you in a table, who you picking? 5 people.
5 people.
5 people. It's your table. They're around you.
All right, bear with me, yeah? Oh, this is a difficult one, bro.
Yeah, it's a mad one. Aaron, any kind of options? You throwing any
Michael Jordan.
away? MJ, yeah?
Yeah, bro. This is difficult.
We say maybe...
All right, this sounds weird, yeah?
Nah, it's cool, bro. Say it.
Oh, what's the guy's name? Is it Frederick Douglass? There's one...
Right, I remember with the brother, old school.
Yeah.
Frederick Douglass.
I don't know if it's Frederick Douglass. I can't remember the name, but the brother that he led the Haitian slave revolution in it, so they fought back.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
Douglas.
Is it Frederick Douglass?
Yeah,
that
Yeah,
brother.
all right, cool.
Him,
Makes sense.
bruv. This is difficult, man. I'm just gonna throw in some random ones just because
Nah,
Nelson
obviously.
Mandela in it.
Nelson Mandela,
Yeah,
100%. Steve Jobs? Nah. Don't really want him around the table.
Do you know what?
Beyonce, maybe? Nah.
I'll put Jay-Z there because that guy is
Jay-Z,
he's doing the most, man. Just to be on a fly on the wall in a room with him, learn. That's what I
Crazy.
got for now, man.
That's it. All right, cool.
cool.
Is anyone you want to add on to a list?
Probably someone like Cristiano Ronaldo. Just
Mm.
someone that's still alive today. Someone like Nipsey Hussle as well.
Yeah,
And
that'd be a good story. One more gun. Beyonce, Ashanti.
Now, you know, Wilt Chamberlain. I feel like he would be interested in that. Just from...
Why Wilt Chamberlain?
I got who's Wilt
You didn't have
Chamberlain?
an answer for that, did you?
No way, because he done a lot at a period when... I don't know, man. He just like a cool guy, I'll be honest.
Fair enough.
All right, cool then. That's quick fire done, Weston. You done
Wicked.
all right still. You
I
done
did
okay,
alright,
innit?
Yeah.
You held it down. You held it down.
I survived.
All right, let's get into it, Weston. I mean, let's start off. Just tell us a bit about your story. Yeah, how did you get into fitness? Like from the early years, who was Weston?
Bro, that takes me back. I don't know. Like I'm not gonna lie. Fitness was like I just been doing it before I knew I was doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Like I've always been active from when I was young. I played a lot of sports. I was very athletic,
Mm-hmm.
and I just remember I'd end up lifting weights. And I remember the reason I started picking up weights. It wasn't even weights. I started doing press ups, sit ups, just training abs twice a day because I just wanted to be strong in it.
Yeah.
And I think ultimately it's because I got into a lot of fights. If I'm being real.
Okay.
Got into a lot of fights.
What
whereas-
school times we talking?
School time. This is school times. I was young,
Yeah.
but this is like 13, 14. I was getting into a lot of fights.
Oh, fair.
And like, I didn't really like rely on other people.
What's your record? What's your record?
It's a good one still.
Yeah,
Can't lie.
That's some
lie.
spinning, man.
Yeah, can't lie.
What's that? How many KOs in there?
There's a few, bro.
That's even like age.
There's a few KOs. There's a few. Aaron Dunn been there a couple of times having to drag me away.
Yeah.
He's like,
Aaron.
to this day, I'll say this. He's one of the few people can actually like stop me physically.
Yeah.
And just win.
Yes,
Aaron.
what?
Bro, listen, I got stories, bro. Yeah, I'm bringing it in. I got stories.
Aaron told me you guys were all cool, like.
Yeah, like,
no,
you guys are hitting
times
beach
were
clubs.
cool, yeah. But I think I was quite cool because I had people like him around me stopping me from being a hothead.
Yeah.
Okay,
You know what I'm saying?
Quite mellow.
Very mellow, innit? Like, it's like West, just leave it. What you doing? But in general, yeah, I got into fitness because I think I just liked to be strong. I like being physically, better than average.
Yeah.
And then I started to get a better. I was doing more body weights. I was doing calisthenics before I realized it was calisthenics. I was begging my dad to get me weights at like 15, 16, banged weights at home. Yeah, joined the gym and that's it. It's been lifting for therapy for years.
100. And what was your first gym like? So that first gym, what was it like? That first day as well, going in
Are we
there?
talking home gym or are we talking the gym?
Third
That
gym.
gym,
The actual
right.
gym.
So the first gym I went to was like in Walthamstow. It was pool and track before, now it's the Feel Good Centre. They knocked it down and rebuilt it. But that was the first gym I ever went to. I only went there for an induction, but it was a fun experience, innit? Just trying out just different machines and that. And then I joined Peter May in Chinkford. So Hyams Park, Walthamstow, whatever. And then I joined Bannatynes. And then, yeah, but it was fun, man. Just messing around, didn't really know what I was doing.
Yeah.
I just, whatever I saw on YouTube videos or saw other people doing, I just replicated it. And some shit just kind of worked, you know?
And then at any time, was there a point where you felt like intimidated?
Oh, yeah.
Or like,
Definitely.
and at those moments, what advice would you give to someone that's like walking into a gym feeling intimidated? What would you...
Honestly, just like go on like you got blinders on, put your headphones in, just pretend the gym is just you alone. Yeah. And if there's anyone else, if anyone says anything to you that's
Fight
negative, don't fight them. Don't fight them. I don't condone violence. I'm a good boy these days. Yeah.
These days?
But I would just say, ignore them. It's not about them. It's about you. It doesn't matter what they say. Their thoughts and their opinions don't matter. Just focus on what you're there to do. Get it done and get out. That's it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Treat it like it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a sanctuary, you know?
Yeah.
It's therapeutic. So if anyone's giving you hassle, just ignore them then. And that's it.
Yeah.
100%.
So I'm a bit interested about like your upbringing when you was younger, like sports. Like what kind of sports were you playing?
Do you know what? Like, I was definitely a jack of all trades, master of none.
I was like, nice.
Like jack of all, I mean not master of none. I got good at quite a few things, but I was slightly above average at a lot of things as opposed to being really good at one thing.
Yeah.
So I think if there's one thing I definitely excelled at, it's probably athletics because 200 meters, 400 meters, 400 meter relay, shot put, and on odd occasion I do 100 meters. That was fun. That was like my bread and butter. Kickball at one point, a long time ago. Can't kickball now. Got 2 left feet. Don't ever ask me. Basketball, like playing basketball. I was laughing in the corner because he see me kick a ball this way. It's over there.
What position?
Centre back, bro.
That's calm.
Yeah. Because you need to run at people, innit? You get me?
Yeah.
I was big enough as well, so it kind of helped. But yeah, apart from that, basketball, bit of rugby, and then American football and MMA later on in life. And that's about it.
Cool. Did you like? So you know, in terms of your physique, when you was growing up, did you like? Were you quite built already? Were you slim? Were you?
I was like skinny fat, if I'm perfectly honest.
Yeah.
Then I started doing athletics and body weight, and my body just changed, man. It really changed really quickly. Like I just from doing press ups 2-3 times a day, sit ups, pull ups at home, and doing athletics training 3 times a week. Bro, like I don't know, I had abs. 1 minute I had abs. It was like flat, flabby stomach. And then suddenly I woke up, I had abs. It was mad. So, oh no. So,
would you recommend that then for someone who's trying to like kickstart their fitness journey? Would you recommend that starting from home first, maybe getting confidence?
I think body weight exercises 100%. Like you should master how your body moves before you go and touch weights. 100%. I think that. And I think if you're young, especially if you're growing up, don't worry about a gym too much. Just play sports, get athletic, train your body to be athletic. Yeah, train your body to like use energy and burn energy efficiently. Like it'll when you do finally touch weights, bruv, it will just be so much easier. You'll excel so much quicker.
Bro, but I agree, and I actually think that's even for someone who's like a lot older, maybe just starting their fitness journey, instead of going to the gym and going straight into deadlifts and trying to pick up big weights, right? Just
definitely, I think mastering body weight, way better. Yeah. And then saying that, I feel like anyone can go into the gym and with the right guidance can really excel, because then that can teach you how to use your body more than body weights.
It's true.
So it's good to mix up. But I think ultimately, whatever you do, you just need to know what you're doing and why you're doing it. There needs to be a purpose for it, and there needs to be a structure. It doesn't matter how you do it, how you achieve your goals. There's different ways you can do it, but it's just about making sure it's conducive, you know. Yeah.
And then to say, if someone didn't want to go to the gym, what would be Weston's at-home body weight routine?
What's the goal though?
So if they wanted to burn fat, and all they have is a pull-up bar and a mat, they want to train 3 days a week.
That's lightweight. If the goal is just to burn fat.
Just to burn fat.
Well, all right. First of all, we've got to assess the diet because that's going to be the biggest thing that impacts the development. But bro, it's easy. You got bodyweight squats. You got loads of bodyweight exercises you can do from the floor before you even touch the pull-up bar. But then the pull-up bar, there's so many different variations of pull-up exercises you can do to develop a decent physique and burn fat. Ultimately, whatever they feel comfortable to doing, as long as I got them moving and moving in a progressive way over time, and alongside that having like a structured, you know, diet approach, then that's easy. Like burning fat, I feel like when I say it's easy, it's a simple it's not easy, it's a simple process.
100%,
yeah. But obviously doing it is the practicality of doing it is different. But what you have to do, like, it's easy.
Of course. I think let's start off. We'll go cover mindset first, and then we can talk about nutrition, and then finish off with exercise. All right. So I guess my question with mindset firstly, I guess if we're starting from the top, what kind of so obviously you've like competed before, right? You competed at a few occasions. You've trained people as well who've competed. So what do you think is like a winning mindset? What do you think takes? Because it's quite difficult, isn't it? It's difficult to stay consistent and stuff. So what would you say is a few key points that you can give someone to support with having a winning mindset?
I think for like a winning mindset, I think it's important to appreciate the process and not just the end result. Because if so focused on the end result, if things don't go to plan, like you're not going to count the rest of the wins because the whole process is a big win. You know what I mean? So it's good to have that winning mindset in terms of like fighting for your goal, but it's also important to fight all the to count and to reward yourself for all the wins along the way. Do you know what I mean? And that's going to keep you going, and that just reinforces that mindset. I think it's also important to remember that failure is okay. That's 100%. Failure is okay. Like winners understand that failures, like they're important because that's how you learn. Otherwise, if you never fail, you never learn, and how do you really get better? So I think those two things are important.
And then in terms of celebrating those wins, how would you celebrate your wins, for example?
Depends how big the win is.
So
you know what I mean?
Say, for example, if you was hitting a certain body weight, or how would you encourage your clients or people you train to reward themselves? All right,
let's say, I'll give you an example. So I got one client last week. She smashed like 2 PBs. Like deadlifts and squats. That was exciting. And her long-term goal, of course, is fat loss. But we set strength goals along the way because it's just, it makes it more fun. Do you know what I mean? So she was talking about she was worried about having a cheat meal. And I said, it's not even a cheat meal. You're just having an off-plan meal. You've done well. Eat something and drink something you enjoy. Like, do you know what I mean? You're working very hard. It ain't got to be super regimented all the time.
100%.
Take a break and don't feel any way about it. Don't feel like you're taking a break. Just feel like this is just normal. Do you know what I mean? So I think that was helpful. Do you know what I mean? And that was good at celebrating the wins.
What kind of small targets or small goals would you say you can set someone? Ez, I guess you can also jump in this one. For someone who's, let's say someone's starting new in the gym and, you know, they might be quite intimidated or they don't know where to start. What's some small kind of wins or small kind of things that they can work towards? And their end goal is fat loss, you know, to get more comfortable, more confident in the gym. What's some small wins that we can give to them?
Small wins. Like, I think it's important to understand, all right, whatever your goals are, maybe breaking up your goals. So like if your goal is fat loss or fitting into a certain dress size. Anytime there's a change in your measurements, again, it's good to record like little things like that because it's a good way of checking your progression along the way. But if you got a change in measurements, that's a win. You know what I mean? If you another way of recording wins is just make a note whether it's a mental note or a physical note of any exercises that you find difficult, or any exercises that you find your range of motion, like maybe you're not getting as deep in your squats. Anytime you get deeper, and it's noticeable, anytime you progress that way, those are all wins, man. So it's important to count every single one of those.
And I think that's important, you know, saying that. So like recording these things is vital, isn't it? Like, I guess taking videos, pictures, progress pictures are a good way, right?
Yeah, record everything. It's your journey, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's even something that we do as well in regards to tracking our clients' steps, even using our app to make sure they're ticking off those workouts.
Tick all the boxes.
That's it. And then it just reinforces that into their mind. And then once you realize you're ticking this, then you're seeing the results alongside it, which makes the whole process a lot more smoother and more enjoyable.
And just to add to that as well, like I think things as simple as just getting to the gym can be a win. Like I bring it back to, I've got another client, one that she trained today. She's, you know, for a while she's been anxious about training in the gym. We started off training like just home remote sessions. Yeah. Very anxious about going to the gym because, you know, it's the idea of people are watching and, you know, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not confident, blah, blah, blah. So like the fact that we've got her to go to the gym, that's a win. Getting to go to the gym twice in 1 week, that's a win. Getting her to spend an hour per session in the gym, those are all wins. Those are all wins. The fact that she's felt more confident to go over to the weight section and do her squats rather than staying over in like the, you know, the more relaxed stretch zone to do her exercises. Those are all wins.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And you know, like talking of mindset, it's quite interesting because I remember there was a client that came to myself. I had a client for a while and at this point, he hadn't trained before. He wasn't training. He was overweight. He was, you know, a lot of things were going on in his life which were causing stress as well. And we started training. We were doing like 2-3 sessions a week, I would say like that. And then, you know, as it progressed across a couple months, there was a point where he only done 1 session across the week. And then he was like, oh, like, I feel like I'm not progressing because I've only done 1 session this week. And I to him like, that's a victory. Like, if you doing nothing to being upset about doing 1 session, that's a victory. That's a win. That's a victory. Your mindset. Your mindset's changed from not doing anything to being upset about doing 1 session.
Exactly.
That's a winning mindset. And I think it touches exactly what you said. I think people, when they start in the gym, or even if they want to get into it, they feel like they have to be doing a PB within 1 week.
It's not about that. It's just about making small steps towards your goal. And sometimes those small steps are just stepping into the gym.
Yeah, exactly. It's so true.
And then linking onto that as well, making the goals realistic. Because a lot of people are stepping into the gym thinking, oh, raw. I've never lifted weights. And then, it's all magic.
I'm going to have the body I want. I'm going to look like The Rock in 3 months.
Exactly. But then that comes from, even on social media, a lot of people are putting out fake results and stuff like that.
And also having a good coach, because if you've got a good coach who'll set the expectations where you're challenging yourself, it's not easy, but at the same time, it's achievable.
Yeah.
So obviously sometimes ourselves, like, it's hard to do. Like, I know I'm quite like harsh person on myself. So if I don't do something, I'll be like, but you need someone else in your corner to tell you.
100%.
Like, do you know what I mean? Put it into perspective.
And accountability.
Exactly.
And another thing to add to that as well, just being transparent. Because from day one, if you're realistic and transparent with what you think they can achieve, they're not going to get 2 weeks down the line and think, I haven't made the progress that they was thinking, for example. So
managing expectations.
100%.
That's a big part of our job, man.
100%.
Because I get the amount of times I get people in my DMs or over phone consultations like, I've seen this transformation. Like, I want to get shredded for summer in 3 months.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever lifted weights? These times body fat might be like 40% or something like that. Thinking, let's tone it back. Let's bring it back. Yeah. Let's set some realistic goals. And then you can hear it in their voice sometimes, like when their momentum has been crushed a little bit because you've had to be realistic. But it's important that you do that because it's better you do it now than they get down to the 3 months and they look in the mirror and they're like, what's happening? Do you know what I mean? And then next thing you know, they think, I'm done with this fitness thing.
And they'll never go back.
Never go back.
Yeah. It happens a lot.
It was funny because I had a woman I was speaking to who wanted to get started, and she's like, say by next year, July, I want to lose 10 pounds, roughly around that. So I was like, yeah, it's doable. You know, this is what it takes. These are the steps that you're going to need to do. Then she goes, yeah. Like, I think I need to do this. Yeah, it makes sense. I understand the process, all of that. And then she came back to me the other day and said, oh yeah, I'm probably going to start maybe in like January or February. And I'm like,
well, you're going to push your goals back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're going to, but I think in her mindset, her goal is still by then, but she just wants to start later. It's not like, again, that's what I'm saying. Everything we're saying, it's like, you have to be accountable to yourself as well. And you have to be realistic that if you want to achieve this, like you've also got to be serious and put in the work and start right away.
100%. And I think it's important to be realistic with yourself because, again, when I have these consultations, like, so with every client, I provide a training plan, of some sort. And I always say I want the training plan to be suited to your lifestyle. So like, if you can only commit to 3 sessions a week, I'm not going to give you a 5-session plan because it's not going to get done.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I might give you a 3-day plan with maybe some other activities like going for a walk or whatever during the week. And it happens often. Someone will, and I understand circumstances change, but someone will be like, I could do 5 days a week. Are you sure? Let's look at your timetable. Let's look at your schedule right now. Are you sure you can do 5 days a week? Yeah. 2 weeks in, how's it going? So I've seen you twice a week now. Have you done your other 3 sessions? Oh no, this came up. I'm like, okay, but you said
exactly.
You see what I'm saying? And then I have the conversation again. Are you sure you can do 5 days a week? Yeah. 3 weeks later, same conversation. So it's important for people to be realistic with themselves. Yeah, in order to be realistic with their long-term expectations.
Yeah,
you know,
that's a really good
everyone's
point.
got good intentions all the time, and then when you get to doing the work, it's a whole different kettle of fish.
But you know, it's funny because you say that, like the excuses thing. Like I think sometimes when it comes, you just got to kind of like push it and have no excuses, and to a certain extent, because you know, in terms of fitness, it's always it's always a thing that's pushed till the end. Like I've spoken to Ez about this. Sometimes it's like, why is it like the cat? I need to go wash the cat. I need to do this.
Afterthought.
The afterthought, and then the fitness is always the fitness thing is always at the end. It's not a priority where it's probably like the most beneficial thing to your life.
Yeah. And then when you think about what is the priority, like my mental health, what is going to make me feel better day to day? Do you know what I mean?
100%.
Like, and knowing that you're working towards a goal, and I say this a lot, like when you look better, you feel better. Yeah. When you're exercising and you're physically healthier. Yeah. Like when you wake up in the morning and like your body's not super stiff and you're not feeling tired and you're not congested because in general your body's just healthier, your mental health reaps the benefit, and that just has a knock-on effect, like a snowball effect on the rest of your day. Do you know what I mean? And the rest of everything else you do. So really and truly, it should be a priority, not just because it's about, it's how I look. It's about what it's going to do for your lifestyle and what it's going to do for your life. It's going to improve the quality of your life. You know what I mean? So it should be a priority. It shouldn't be an afterthought.
And you know, it's always with that, the one question we always get when we put DM is, how do you stay motivated? But how do I motivate myself? I don't understand. But if you understand the effects of something, you're going to be motivated to achieve it. Do you know what I mean? So if they know how you feel, like how good it is to feel when you're healthy or fit, when you're waking up fresh, loose, when you're going to a gym session, like it's the purpose, and the motivation comes through the purpose of what you're trying to achieve.
100%.
So I think people you need to commit to it, right? Definitely commit yourself to it, and then
commit to yourself.
That's it.
And expect more from yourself as well. I think the second you do that, like you realize that you're not letting your PT down, or you're not letting this person down, you're letting yourself down. When you feel like you're letting yourself down, boy, that makes you get up and go.
Yeah, it's a different
kind of motivation.
Different,
you know that deep feeling in your chest, like, I'm messing up. You get up and go. You do something about it.
I said to Ez, we said it last podcast we've done, like you can have the best PT in the world. Like he's not gonna do it for you.
100%.
Like you can give someone all the structure, like we've done it before, literally giving someone all the support they need. But at the end of the day, it comes down to you, like
whether they execute,
whether you want it and whether you execute it.
I feel you, man. And there's been so many times, where I feel like I've really put my all in this, you know. I've really invested myself in structuring this, planning this, and support. And the bottom line is, if they just don't do it, don't do it. But and it could be, and sometimes it could be a bit of a motivation killer for myself.
It's true.
Because I'm sure you guys feel the same way with your clients. Yeah, when the clients come with a goal, because you're passionate about helping people achieve their fitness goals, the same way you achieved yours. You put a lot of energy into planning for them. So it can be a bit of a downer when they're just letting themselves down.
Yeah, and sometimes you send them stuff, they don't even read it. Like
Don't get me started.
But you know what is again, this is another topic. Why is it in the personal training and fitness industry this happens? If someone's gonna go to a doctor, the dentist, or any other industry, they're gonna read everything. You know what I mean? They're gonna read the blueprint. They're gonna read they're gonna take it seriously. But when it comes to their fitness and health, it's nothing else. Like in terms of a dentist or doctor, for example, a PT, I feel can have more impact in someone's life because you're there with them. Do you know what I mean? You're messaging them. You're supporting them emotionally, physically, like mentally, everything. So, why is it? Why is it that, you know, when it comes to their people's fitness and they don't prioritize it? They'll spend however much on a Gucci bag or on a Louis Vuitton belt or something like that. But for PT, I don't know. It's a bit too much for me. I can't. I don't know.
I'm treated like a luxury. That's what it is. And I think it comes back down to the individual's mindset, because if they don't look at getting fit and healthy as a luxury, and they look at it as a necessity, to make their life better, then they'll look at the personal training services as a necessity. Same way, if you feel like anytime you're going sick, you go to the doctors, it's a necessity. That's what you do.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's probably why it's just not seen as a luxury and not a necessity. That's what it is.
Enough. And I feel like, do you know what it is as well? The main thing I feel that's happened is the entry level into being a personal trainer so low. Like, we couldn't go online and put it on internet and then wear a doctor, you get what I mean? Or a dentist, and then we're got someone in the seat and we're drilling open their mouth, for example. Pause, just sounded wild.
I didn't even clock it. You said piece of pause. I was like, come on, bro.
Whoa. But yeah, the entry level for being a PT is so low. Like, I'll say, I've got people that I used to train and they're PTs now. But but they've never done no, like,
do you know it's not even that? Weston, have you ever heard of this? You're speaking to someone, you tell them your prices, and then they say to you, but I was training in the park from my previous PT for 15 £10 an hour, £15 an hour.
I go back to him, man.
Yeah, and then, but I don't want to be in the
rain.
But
this is the thing. But the thing is, Weston is, they're reaching out to you now. So clearly that PT for 10, 15, he's not doing the job. But my thing is, it's true. Like I said, the entry level sometimes is, look,
it's low.
It's good. Everyone wants to like get in the industry and work in it. But I feel like there needs to be.
Do you know what?
Yeah.
Can I be honest? I feel like it's a bit of a double-edged sword, yeah?
Yeah.
I'll tell you why. Because those entry-level PTs that are charging the £10-15, they make people else look really good. They make us look good. Because when they're training people and so-and-so's been with them for a year and they're not getting any results.
They're seeking other help.
And they'll realise, I know I'm not spending much, but it's a waste of my money. Because what am I achieving? So it makes better PTs look good. And one thing I realize that this whole industry is really saturated, because you're right, it's very easy to become a PT. And don't get me wrong, it's a great profession.
Amazing.
It's a great profession, and I think that's why it's so popular. But at the same time, it just means there's a lot of crap out there. Excuse my language. There's a lot of crap out there, innit? Do you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it one can give us a bad name. Yeah, but if we get the opportunity,
that's where you gotta change their mind.
Exactly. If we get the opportunity to demonstrate our value, you know what I mean? It makes us look miles better. Like I've had the amount of clients, there's a fair few clients I've had on that I have now that I've had experience with personal trainers in the past. And a lot of them say the same thing, like like I didn't realize this was what PT was supposed to be.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
That's exactly it.
So it's a double-edged sword, man.
Yeah, I just want to go back as well too, because we were saying sometimes people don't value their health, like it's seen as a luxury. I guess let's talk about some of the things that people can achieve, like some success stories. I guess that's a way that can motivate people to think, this is more than a luxury for me. This is something that I need in my life. Why do people need fitness in their life? Why do they need to train? Why do they need to eat healthy? Why is it important? What do you guys think? What do you guys think on that?
For me, just to kick it off, it's like, you're your biggest investment. Like, so I really don't understand like how much money people will spend on alcohol, for example. In the long run, that's harming you. But you could go to the gym. The funny thing is, you don't even have to spend a lot of money. If you are committed enough to go and jog, do body weight and stuff, for example,
you just gotta move more.
You get what I mean? And that's totally free. So it's not even about the money aspect of it. It's just your commitment to what you want to achieve, what you can to achieve, and your commitment to yourself. So that would be 1 point for myself. What do you think?
Weston, you got any thoughts?
Do you know what? I feel like it's just realizing that it's really self-empowering.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like it's empowering. You know that you can lift something up without breaking your back.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Pick up your kid and your and your washing bags. Bring it into the house without killing yourself.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Empowering yourself to live longer and stronger. Do you know what I mean? Like there's people I don't want to be 60 and struggling. I want to be 60 and feeling like I am now.
And you know, that's not even an understatement. That's not extreme. Some people be like, oh, you know, how's it going to change me living longer? But it actually does. It literally does.
There's people our age that I personally know that they're finished. Like, in terms of their body.
Give them 10 years.
You get what I mean? Like, that's them now. They're in their 20s or whatnot. And then they're going to get to 30 and they're rubbed out.
Bro,
so,
I know people that are my age, but they look like 20 years older than me, bro. It's mad.
It's a life hack, isn't it?
It's a life hack, isn't it? If you want to be young forever, you got to move, man.
It's true.
That and cocoa butter.
Yeah, that too.
Can't forget cocoa butter, yeah. No, 100%. I think that's good. Let's go into some nutritional stuff now, yeah? Let's just discuss a bit about nutrition. I think where we always start off with is, I guess let's talk about what people should be avoiding first, right? The fads, the nonsense. I've got Ez's opinion loads of times on the fads when it comes to nutrition. Weston, what's your thoughts on the fads that are taking over the industry now?
You gotta be specific. Which fads though?
All right.
Detox tea. Don't talk to me about it. I don't want to hear it.
Slimming tea, booty tea.
It's all bullshit.
Yeah.
Language. Sorry. Wait,
this is a podcast for under
PG, under 14. Sorry, parental.
Let the kids watch this.
Oh, and you said shit as well. Oh, and I said it now. It's contagious. Go on.
Booty tea.
Do you know what it is? I was saying
it works still. Help me
relax,
grow, man.
Don't do that.
Do you know what it is? I was saying to Ez last week because we were discussing like the keto diet. We were discussing the Atkins diet, the 5-bite diet. There's like some crazy diets out there, right? And they all basically center around the same thing, which is calorie deficit, but they're just repackaged and like a new label or name is put over them. So like that's the thing that we're facing at the moment, isn't it? People are not understanding that it's just a calorie deficit and finding around your lifestyle. So, you know, people are trying to basically just make it seem.
But then saying that, sorry to cut you off.
No, go on, bro.
Like in terms of, if we're talking nutritionally, like in terms of the goal of fat loss, then like you just need to calorie deficit. There's no benefit over certain diets over another one. As long as you're in a calorie deficit, you can pretty much get the same results. However, we talk about like general like nutrition, like there's some diets have been proven to be slightly more like well-rounded, like the Mediterranean diet, because there's such a variety of different types of foods from like, you know, not just like different types of protein sources, but different carb sources from lentils, from beans, from like it's so well-rounded that you get such a dynamic nutrition profile that is probably in some regards is seen to be slightly more superior. But in terms of just like gaining muscle or burning body fat, like ultimately what you need to worry about is calories in versus calories out.
Exactly.
Obviously, it gets a bit different when you're talking about creating short-term effects, like, you know, like bodybuilding, for example, like creating certain looks on stage. It is very temporary. You're not going to look like that, how you look on stage for the rest of the week. So there's other things you do to your diet to manipulate how you look. But again, that's not long-term. In terms of long-term, like all these diets, all these fads, like calorie deficit if you want to lose fat.
Yeah.
Calorie surplus if you want to gain muscle mass.
So for yourself, what's 5 key things that you do and maintain for yourself in terms of your nutrition and diet?
This is my nutrition.
Yeah.
Especially lately or the last year or so, I've really put a big emphasis on making sure I prioritize vitamins and minerals as well.
Yeah.
So potassium, zinc, magnesium, because not only these things help my muscle recovery, you know, they help my general recovery, my sleep, and they help my focus and cognition. So I think in terms of like nutrition, there's big focus on vitamins and minerals and make sure they're prioritized and not just the afterthought. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm gonna get my chicken and my rice in, I've got my carbs and my protein. Right, what about vegetables? And not just any vegetables, what kind of vegetables you're putting in your diet and why you're putting them there. What's the benefits? What is the nutrient profile you're going to gain from this particular combination of fruit, vegetables, whatever. So I think that's important. In terms of what else from diet, making sure my protein is adequately spread out, because I know for me, if I don't have a structure, I tend to have really big meals. Like I might have like 3 or 4 huge meals.
Yeah.
That's not, it's not really optimal for my goals, which are at the moment, it's just to like maintain lean muscle mass. So I try and prioritize just spreading out my protein intake across like 5 or 6 meals a day, because your body can only absorb, like between, 25, 35 grams of protein every 1.5 hours. So if you're having like 80 grams in one go, your body's not going to reuse that efficiently.
Yeah.
Better off spreading that out into smaller portions. So that's another thing I do. Hydration, of course, and variety as well. I'm trying to mix up my variety, not just my protein sources, but my carbs and my fats. And also making sure that I get a substantial amount of healthy fats just to promote and support like healthy hormone production in my body and vitamin absorption. So those are the 5 things I would say.
Perfect. Sounds perfect. Sounds good. Actually, like in terms of someone, like again, because we're trying to always refer it to people who are maybe just getting into the gym, just getting comfortable with nutrition, who maybe don't have the knowledge or understanding. Like, what tips could we can all kind of jump in on this one. What tips could we give someone who's doesn't really exercise, wants to make change and fix up their nutrition? At the moment, it's a bit sporadic. They're eating different times of the day. Sometimes they're not eating. They're not getting enough protein, and just snacking on crisps, junk, and so on. What's some tips that we can give people to make a change in their diet and nutrition?
I would say like don't be too hard on yourself, and don't switch your diet up completely. Don't change. Like, I think it's best to figure out what you like to eat, what you can eat, and just make that work for you. So I think that's why it's a good time to like see a professional. Yeah, but I mean, whether it's a dietitian, nutritionist, or a PT with good knowledge and background with nutrition, just making a food diary and assessing what you actually eat day to day, and then figuring out what can fit in with your goals and what can't. And then a lot of the time, it's just about portion control. A lot of people times can still, more time people can just eat what they want to eat, but it's just about the portions and what else they're eating as well. So I wouldn't say just go cold turkey. I would definitely say make a food diary and assess what you're eating and see if what you can use from your existing diet in your new diet.
Small tweaks and changes.
And
just keeping it sustainable. Yeah, 100%. And then for me, I would say don't rush and jump into the world of supplements.
Yeah.
Because I feel like people just want to jump to supplements and they think, I can use that as a meal replacement. Protein shakes are going to get me super hench or super lean instantly. So I'll say do the basics first, build solid foundations, and then the supplements are there, as we always say, to supplement an already healthy and balanced diet. And then from there, that would be for
I
myself.
would also say don't have a bad connotation with any food group. Like a lot of people think carbs, that's it, I can't have carbs, or they're bad for me, or protein, I'm going to get too hench. So I think have an open mind when you're going into the world of nutrition, and then just do the necessary research. Like you said, seek help if you need more support, but try to have a balance, get everything included, have a balanced diet. And then like you said, what's quite cool is like a process of elimination. So if anything doesn't feel right for your body, it's making you feel a certain way, bloated or anything like that, just eliminate it. And then like you said, journal and
definitely. I think this is number one, is just make sure to have an idea of what you're actually eating day to day and just assess it yourself. And then I think that exercise alone, just making a list and write down what you eat, is enough to shock people into thinking, I need to fix up.
Yeah,
you see, like 8 packets of crisps and that 20 chocolate bars, what's going on? You know what I'm saying?
Nah, it's true.
When it comes to macros, like the biggest questions come around protein and carbs, I'd say. So number one, like how much protein should I get in? Where should I be getting my protein from? And then secondly, also, should I be avoiding carbs? Especially for females, a lot of the time, it does tend to go towards, let me just cut out carbs. So let's go over protein first. What would you say is some good tips when it comes to protein?
I think it depends what the goal is, to be honest. Like if your goal is to get lean, then prioritize protein. I think like if you were to
divide your macros, the majority of your calories should probably come from protein or like more nutritious carb sources like vegetables, I think. And obviously if the goal is to grow, then, you know, as long as you've got enough protein, and it depends on your body weight, it's like 1.5 grams per
roughly around
yeah,
that.
that's
Roughly around the
or
body weight,
0.8
Depends
pound
what
of body weight.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'll tell you.
We'll get back to you. We'll put it on the
Get back
screen.
to you,
We're
yeah.
good.
But yeah, I think just make sure you've got enough protein for your body weight is important, and then working out carbs and proteins, carbs and fats afterwards. Carbs, people shouldn't be scared of carbs. Carbs are your primary energy source. So when you're trying to work out, if you want optimal performance in the gym or training or sprinting, you need to prioritize carbs.
100%.
And I think prioritizing carbs around workouts is the most efficient way of eating carbs, I think.
Yeah.
What else?
I'd add another one as well, like so we could clarify. We're on screen here, Weston, because we got a lot of people ask this question. Does having protein make you instantly wham? Because we've got a lot of weird females who say that, right?
No.
If I can't have protein, because if I get protein,
Who said that?
I'm gonna grab muscles.
No,
I'm gonna get loads of muscles.
Can't say no
We can't
names.
say
Don't
this,
say no
can't
names.
relate them. No, but it's come in
Name
general
and shame, man.
questions.
Damn it.
No, like loads of general questions they do come in. People ask us, say, but is protein gonna get me if I have too much protein? Is it gonna get me?
No,
Is it gonna
man.
get me straight? Is it gonna get me big?
Like, women, yeah, ladies, like protein isn't gonna get you wham, and like you're
Put a romantic voice,
I'll put
like
in genuine.
genuine.
but it's not gonna get you wham. It's not gonna get you wham, innit? Like protein is protein. It doesn't matter where you eat it from. Your body needs it. It's a macronutrient that's essential to life. Like it's just because you're eating protein or slightly more protein, it doesn't mean you're gonna grow loads of muscles. Do you know what I mean? To grow muscles, growing muscles is not easy. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
It requires a lot of work, a lot of nutrition has to be in point to actually grow. And on top of that, hormones play a part. So if you're not naturally born with loads of testosterone, like us three on the couch, you're not gonna grow loads of muscle.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It's
So
true, it's true.
I wouldn't worry about that.
Ez, because you like just quickly protein with fat loss as well, how it benefits fat loss as well, because it's really important as well, isn't it? In terms of, it's in terms of the macronutrients, really important in terms of digestion, isn't it as well?
I know protein has a slightly higher thermogenic effect.
Exactly.
Yeah, so your body just requires like a bit more energy to burn protein compared to carbs and fat.
Exactly.
So like, that's why when you're trying to really, if you're hungry and you're trying to fill up, like having a bit of protein.
It's satiating as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's satiating, exactly. It makes you feel full for longer. And it's better off doing that than having carbs or extra fats.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. All right, cool. Should we go into exercise and sort of exercise side of things now?
Yeah, I was going to say, so just because people are curious as well, especially as that's what's pushed upon us in terms of fitness goals and body aesthetics. So we just want to touch on, just to close out, the bodybuilding world. As you've had some experience, Weston is, I don't know how it works, but he's like reigning champ of like the heavyweight division.
I wish I was reigning champ. I've got a couple medals. I ain't a champ anymore.
But, so just if you could give us a bit more of intel, because I see two clear differences in terms of you got like the guys that are in the long shorts, and then you got guys that are like twerking on stage, or they're clenching their cheeks.
I'm not gonna lie, Weston. I see some like clench their cheeks.
So what is the difference?
If I compete again, I'm gonna be one of them ones. I'm not twerking. But I'm gonna be on stage in a little.
Weston.
If I do it again.
Because I see certain like guys in pictures, like they're obviously on stage, innit? And they're clenching their butt cheeks, innit? I was at to end like
clenching the butt cheeks for numbers and that.
Well,
but they're making their butt cheeks.
It's another muscle group, innit? So they always say when you got to tense your arms, you got to tense your butt cheeks. You do hip thrust, yeah? You build the glutes, you got to show off on stage.
But
with my shorts and joggers.
just for next man.
So what's the difference between the people that wear the board shorts and the pants?
So the board shorts is like a relatively new thing. Like it's men's physique. I think it's like 2014 or 16. I can't remember. They introduced it as a more entry level way of getting into bodybuilding. That's why very suitable for someone like me. Not trying to get super wham, but I like my athletic look. Do you know what I mean?
100%. Yeah.
So that's why they had that division, and there's more emphasis on the beach body look. Hence why they kind of cover up the legs. Looking Like you're on the beach. If you want to cover your legs, you can cover your legs on the beach. You know what I'm saying?
100.
True.
And then from there, you've got, and this is men's divisions, like your classic, which is, it's like bodybuilding, but with the aesthetic of like old school bodybuilding, 80s, 90s bodybuilding. So smaller waist, more lines, not huge mass monsters, but like you look aesthetically pleasing, like the top level aesthetics. And then you've got bodybuilding after that, which is basically how big and how shredded can you get, regardless of aesthetics are important as well. But it's about how big and shredded you can get. So those are the main men's categories. Now, women's categories, they vary across federation to federation. That's long as well. But then the equivalent to men's physique in women's is bikini. You also have, now you have a wellness, which is like slightly bigger than bikini, bigger legs in the lower half for women. Then you've got physique, figure, bodybuilding, which are basically bodybuilding, and bigger bodybuilding for women. Okay. Yeah, so there's a lot.
Wow, that's why there's a lot, yeah.
What's got the cheeks out, yeah.
So what made you get into it? And what was the thought process behind
me doing it?
Yeah.
To be honest, it's something, as well as PT, and it's something that a lot of people always said to me that, Weston, you should do, because like, you look good, you're in shape, you should give it a go at least once in your life. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I remember having a discussion with my girlfriend at the time, and I was like, I wanted to get better as a PT. She was a PT as well. I wanted to get better as a PT. I wanted to improve the level of service I can give. And I remember at the time thinking, if I can really take my body to the limits, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm my own best case study, and I've been working on this case study for years.
Yeah.
So let me try and push it to the limits and see what I can achieve. So that was the initial aim. And then it just it was a bit of a snowball effect. I just carried on doing it. And it can be quite addictive.
Okay.
It's quite fun. It is the most, I think, seeing like little changes and self-improvements in yourself physically. Yeah, like it can be very motivating in terms of achieving anything else elsewhere as well. Because like with bodybuilding, you see results, like whether they're big or small, you can see them relatively soon, innit? Like, and it can be quite, I don't know, it can be quite motivating. So yeah, that's kind of what got me into it. Like I wanted to learn, I wanted to be a better coach, and I wanted to push myself and see what I could do.
And then in terms of, would you do it again? As you said, you're going to get your cheeks up.
I'm going to get my cheeks out next year.
So what category would you be going for?
So I've been going ham on legs. But do you know what? The thing about the board shorts, yeah, I feel like it's such a shame because you're just telling these guys to get big on top and have little skinny legs, little chicken legs. I don't think that's cool. I didn't want to be one of the people. So I've been beefing up my legs. I'm getting my cheeks out next year. Yeah. Just once, innit? I know you man are laughing, so I got my cheeks out, but okay, I'm getting them out.
How does it differ from competing to coaching someone who's competing?
It's different, innit? Because coaching, when you're competing, you're the one doing it. You're like, whether you're a coach or not, when you're competing, you're steering that truck. Do you know what I mean? You're like, the coach is just trying to navigate. He's got the map out trying to navigate, but you can go off wherever you want because you're driving. Do you know what I'm saying? When you're the coach, all you can do is give them direction. That's it. And you can only give them direction to the best of your ability. And again, that's why it's important, like, as coaches, to constantly try and proactively try and continue to educate yourself. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think it's different because one, you're driving it, and when you're coaching, you can only navigate. You can only try and navigate. That's it. That's a big difference.
And in terms of like clients you work with, how would you say coaching a bodybuilding client is different to like a lifestyle client, for example?
You have to be way more attentive.
Okay.
Yeah, and attention. You need attention to detail, like regardless of the client. But I feel like when you've got a bodybuilding client and something that's so based on appearance and aesthetic, you got attention to detail, and you have to be slightly more on the ball with them. And because their goals are typically more like short term as well, like prepping for a show, dieting down for a show, like compared to a lifestyle client, which you might just be trying to get, in the best shape of their lives over a long period of time, you do have to be slightly more attentive with the bodybuilder. That's how it is. It's just the nature of it.
Decent.
What do you think makes a good bodybuilder then? What do you think?
Good bodybuilder?
Yeah.
Bruh. I don't know. I'd have to say I'm a good bodybuilder. I don't think I'm the best bodybuilder, if I'm perfectly honest. But I think what makes a good bodybuilder is just being consistent with it, and it has to Like, it's got to become like second nature. Like, getting up to do your cardio, making your food, making your meals. It's got to be like almost like you're living in a box. Yeah, and it's the same thing over and over again. You're a broken record, and it's got to be like that to get results.
I swear, something when you compete or something at a point you can't beat or any like you can't make love. Yeah, you can't make love. Or something.
Oh, you can't. Oh, right. So basically, yeah.
So you can't beat or something?
Yeah, so you can't make love. Yeah.
All right. So there's different scenarios where this is the case. Not this has ever happened to me because come on now. But like,
say about a shoot of blacks. That's
like if certain people are taking certain performance enhancing drugs that
Steroids,
can have effect on their hormones. Yeah, steroids that can affect on their hormones. Yeah, like that can have a negative effect on their own natural testosterone or hormone production.
It's long.
Testosterone directly, affects the use of our. So you see where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
And there's other scenarios where like there's scenarios where your body fat can be so low that hormone production is affected. It's not optimal. So that's another scenario. Like, it happens, man.
Yeah.
Happened to me. Not often though.
Oh my god. It's funny because you spoke about two extremes as well, isn't it? Like people who don't take their fitness too serious, like who don't implement, and then people who is like
really
over.
Oh yeah. Oh, you mean bodybuilding?
Yeah, something like I remember I saw there was some documentary Reggie Yates done about bodybuilding, and you
that
see
on
the guy
BBC
he was
Three.
and the guy who was in a
Rice and the fish cake.
Yeah, and there's a guy who was in a sauna. He was doing bicep curls in a sauna.
And then
Weston, he was doing bicep curls in the sauna because he wanted to get his body fat down. Yeah,
that's wild. But do you know what? Yeah.
Oh yeah, another thing. So are we all in agreement that waist trainers are a myth, right?
Yeah. They don't really work.
I don't know.
So how come? Okay, so I see a lot of bodybuilders
Still use them.
Yeah.
Do you know what?
So does it work, or would you ever prescribe that to a client?
I wouldn't prescribe. Have I used one?
Have you used one?
I've used one, yeah.
Bruv.
No, but again, but you have to understand, at the time I had a coach. And he told me,
Is that what man are on?
he told me do this, and it's the first time competing.
you gotta
do
listen,
this. So I just did it. Do you know what I mean? I'm trying to get the best result, so I did it.
But did it work? That's enough, because I've seen people do it. I don't know if
I don't think it actually made my waist smaller. I think on the day that I used it, when I took it off, did my waist look smaller? Yes. The next day, was my waist still smaller? No.
Okay.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So does it yield long-term results?
Probably not.
No, but like
Probably
I
not.
I don't think so, if I'm perfectly honest. Like, unless you're wearing a corset, and obviously if you're slapping on a corset and you're wearing that like 365 for 5 years, yes, your waist is gonna get smaller. Yeah, but not in a healthy way. You're squishing all your waist is your waist there for a reason, innit? Like you're born in a certain way, your genetics are a certain way. Like you're not supposed to squish all this. Do you know what I mean? It's not supposed. So when people are slapping on that waist trainer, do all that, like it's not healthy for you. It's just moving shit around that shouldn't be moved. So does it work? Maybe temporarily. Would I recommend it for clients? No. Have I? No. Have I used it ever since that first competition? No.
Yeah. So you see, if we were gonna go and compete, because obviously, like we're not on the taller side, innit? Would that affect us? Would that?
No.
No.
I actually think when you're shorter, you have a slight advantage in certain circumstances because.
Say now I'm jumping on it. Say now,
I'm
let's
just-
come next
honestly-
year, come, bro. Aaron, you jumping in, yeah?
Aaron's
That's
too
it.
tall, man. He's already Wando, and I've got a trifecta. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. I feel like when you're depends on the category, but if you're shorter, like you can have the appearance of looking bigger. Whereas if you've got a bigger frame, you've got more frame to fill up.
Frame to fill up, yeah.
But is there like a short, petite one as well?
Petite what?
Men.
Men's, so in the big competition, you got bodybuilding, open, men's open, and then you got men's 212. And 212, they're typically smaller guys, and the weight cap's at 212, 212 pounds.
Okay, yeah.
But saying that, recently there's been a lot of speculation. They're thinking about combining the two because you got little guys out here beating big guys in competitions now. So it's like, why do you have this separation?
Yeah, but it's about time, bro. Little guys,
100%, bro.
come on, man.
Repping for the short man.
Taller than, yeah, come on, bro. Give us a chance. I guess the final one for me is I just wanted to ask, like, I guess Ez was one you always ask me, like, what makes a good coach and a bad coach? Might be a bit controversial, but fuck it, innit? So we're here, innit?
Yeah, so we've got,
Yeah, so what makes a bad coach and a good coach?
Everyone go around do just for time as well.
Yeah, everyone do 1 point.
2 good, 2 bad.
All right, cool.
So Big West from the east
2
side.
good, 2 bad. 2 good things I make a coach. And
and I'll be honest, yeah, this is a complaint that's been made against me several times. Communication makes a good coach. I'm not always the best at communicating. It's something I'm working on. Communication in general makes a good coach. I think transparency as well makes a good coach. Bad coaches, not managing expectations and not managing expectations and not having a health conscious sort of approach at first.
Yeah.
And again, there's fitness, there's health, and there's aesthetics and there's health. You can make yourself look really, really good
and be really unhealthy.
But are you healthy?
Yeah,
that's the thing. So I think having a health conscious approach is important. So yeah, those are my 2 and 2.
And then for me, I'll start off with too bad. Too bad, I would say, is using the same approach for everyone. So everyone's different. I would say you got to take that into consideration. Another one would be not trying to keep learning because there's new things coming out all the time. And the more you know, the more people can help and a better service you can provide. Too good, I would say, is being like quite malleable or able to adapt to each individual. Malleable. Is that the word?
Yeah, I think so.
It is malleable.
Aaron, can you check the dictionary if you're good?
That check out.
Cleared off. Is it cleared off?
I'd be nervous. Being able
that
to...
one. That sounds like
the dictionary
a math term as well.
Yeah, he's reading the dictionary.
Like physics.
Where the fuck you get that word from?
Wait, bro.
I've been reading, bro. So being able to adapt to each individual and find one being positive and because you're impacting that person's life. So you always want to bring that positive impact to that life rather than just being a mean. Like, back in the days, you remember like the personal trainers, they used to be those guys that shouting.
Yeah.
You don't need to do that.
Yeah.
You don't need to
do
do
the
that,
deadlift
man.
jump from deadlift up to shoulder presses into a plank.
I do that still. No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
That was my too good, too bad.
Yeah, no, I think definitely too good is putting the client first. It's about the client first and foremost. So managing the client's expectations, managing how they maneuver across the journey. I think another thing that makes good PT or coach is continuously learning. Like we all have points. We always have rooms for. I'm quoting this off of Ezra. I'll quote you again. Ezra Barnett, 2021. I think for bad coaches, stop training clients in the park, man. When it's raining, man.
Yeah,
I'm walking about, see about raining. Like it's raining, man's running butt cheeks out. That's
nah, you might have an obsession with cheeks. I've heard cheeks making the time into a conversation.
Not male cheeks.
Not male cheeks.
That's all right then. I mean, cut that out. Don't cut that.
Yeah, stop training people in the park. It's raining, man. Go get something warm for them, man. Look after them.
Don't cancel, please.
And
one more.
the second one more. Just like taking them straight into fucking deadlift, so they've never even fucking lifted a weight before. I'm sorry, I know I've sworn a lot, but just like easing, like just taking them, giving them an approach that eases them into an exercise and having a thought process behind it. Like I know sometimes coaches just jump on a deadlift, slap on 50 kg on each side, lift that, and then they're breaking their back and doing break off your back all the time. All right, cool. Say that. Say nothing. Listen, shout out to Aaron because you didn't feature. So Aaron, jump in, bro. Come through, bro. Jump in. Jeez, yes.
Jeez, man.
This is the main guy, Aaron. He's always behind the camera in the video, but he's the main guy. Aaron, what are you saying, bro? That was another episode. Shout out to Weston. It was amazing.
Thanks for having me, people.
Yeah, honestly, it was amazing. Some good conversations there. Loved it. Aaron, loved in the background. Yeah, doing all the support and stuff. That's it. But subscribe, share, tell a friend of a friend.
Tell a friend to tell a friend.
Tell a friend to tell a friend. That's it. Yeah, we'll be back soon. Maybe we might interview Aaron for one.
I think we should.
Just do it.
He's like the fitness hybrid, bro.
That's what I'm saying. He's got the smooth legs.
Forget the fact that he's obviously the third eye marksman. Forget that.
Yeah.
Sports science.
Yeah, bro. Aaron's a
physio.
Yeah, bro.
PT. Safety man.
Very